Sarah.
And I'm Michaela Gain.
And this is Hope Pod News. Rhode Island Director of Transportation Peter Alviti steps down. After 11 years as director of RIDOT, Peter Alviti, whose career is headlined with the closure of the Washington Bridge in December 2023, is retiring on February 27th after Governor Dan McKee accepted his letter of resignation. In this letter, Alviti said Rhode Island met its goal of having less than 10% deficient bridges. But a recent WPRI Target 12 investigation found RIDOT removed over 700 bridges from its quarterly progress reports to state lawmakers, which allowed the agency to claim it met its goal of having 90% of the state's bridges in good condition. Alviti promises that his resignation is not related to the Washington Bridge and he wasn't fired or asked to resign. A statement provided from RIDOT at a request reads, "When Peter Alviti was appointed in 2015, Rhode Island had the worst roads and bridges in the country. Drawing from the skill set he obtained from his formal education at Roger Williams University and from his long career as an engineer, he made a comprehensive assessment of the state's transportation assets and created Rhode Island's first 10-year transportation plan that would reduce our percentage of failing bridges to 10% in 10 years and reform our transportation systems to meet our future needs. Over the last 10 years, we have repaired or rehabilitated 352 bridges, and we are on track to reach 10% bridge efficiency this year. Mr. Rocchio intends to continue to implement RIDOT priorities into the 10-year plan."
In the months following the December 2025 shooting at Brown University's Barris and Hawley building, officials say their focus has been on strengthening campus safety while supporting community healing. Hugh Clements, interim vice president for the public safety and chief of police at Brown University, emphasizes that the goal is not to create a campus defined by fear, but one defined by preparedness, vigilance, and mutual care. Since the incident, Brown has begun transitioning buildings that still use traditional keys to a card access system. The university is also expanding its blue light emergency phone system across campus, including the addition of cameras. In partnership with the global consulting firm Tino, Brown is completing an after-action review to evaluate safety policies and procedures. And other measures include improving good coordination with legal agencies and regional mental health resources, enhancing public safety training and staffing. The university has also launched Brown Ever True, a campus-wide roadmap to recovery led by Vice President for Diversity and Inclusion, Matthew Gutierrez. The initiative focuses on long-term healing efforts, including resilience, workshops, small group discussions, expanded mental health access, and conversations about memorializing victims. Brown University officials urged anyone with questions about campus safety or recovery efforts to visit the university's website, where detailed updates, frequently asked questions, and support resources are available.
Rhode Island lawmakers are backing legislation requiring middle and high school ID cards to include the phone numbers for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline and the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration Helpline, giving students and staff quick access to crisis support as youth mental health challenges continue to rise. In a press release from the Rhode Island General Assembly, State Senator Victoria Gu and Representative Earl Reed III said they introduced the bill to help prevent suicides and substance abuse-related emergencies. "We want to put help at their fingertips," Gu said, noting the hotlines are anonymous and available 24 hours a day. Reed, a former Warwick police officer, added that early access to these services could save lives. The proposal comes as the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports that suicide rates among people ages 10 to 24 increased by more than 50% between 2007 and 2021, and as other states consider similar measures.
The tiniest patients at Women and Infants Hospital in Providence celebrated a big milestone recently, their first Valentine's Day. According to the hospital officials, the littlest patients in the neonatal intensive care unit were dressed up in festive outfits made by volunteers with the nonprofit group project called Sweet Peas. These outfits were specifically made to fit around the medical equipment on each baby. The Littlest Valentine have been capturing hearts and continue to be supported by Project Sweet Pea's mission to support families of premature and sick infants due to their difficult times. To find out more about this project, go to projectsweetpeas.com.
Brown University hosted a private memorial for the victims of the fatal December shooting. A source within the school reported that the service, which included remarks by students, friends, and campus leaders, was restricted to those with a valid university ID. "We all heal differently," Brown University President Christina Paxson stated, noting that both students will be remembered during this time of recovery. At the service, friends spoke about their experiences with the deceased students. Alina Kutla Hickson reflected on how she was able to live out her faith through what she learned from Cook. while Vanessa Finder remembered Umertikov for his sense of humor and the joy he instilled in others. For a recording of the memorial, go to WPRI.com.